Hey guys, this is Simon from Fateless. This is going to be a video where we showcase one of our factions in pretty decent detail. I've already done one where I showed the Aru, which is based on the Egyptian gods, myths, and legends. Today we're going to be looking at the Olympians. So the Olympus faction, probably going to be some names in here which you all know extremely well. If you're even new to this content, or if you've been watching all of our videos and you're one of the 60% that hasn't subbed yet, please sub. It really helps our channel grow. And please hit the like as we get into this video. So let's start then with the kind of like theming. This is now going back months, probably like 9 months or something, where we originally drew out mood boards for each of the different factions that we want in our game. There's going to be 10 factions in total. This is the official announcement of the second one, the Olympus faction. And what we were looking at here was just like visual references from other games, from other artists, and we were just like, what type of armor does this faction wear? What type of adornments do they have? What type of weaponry do they hold? Just to give, I guess, the Magic Media artists some real cool visual interpretation of what we like. And as you can see, there's different art styles here. There's different type of line work, and this is something which Dane is particularly good at. So, he's saying here, stylistically, these are not in line with what we want for our game. But what we do like is some of the different type of useful cliches for this type of faction. And even on this one, which is quite a simplistic drawing, there's so many different kind of shields, there's so many different weapons, and all of that's really interesting and useful when we're thinking about game design and, champion design for us. So you can see here, this one in particular, I thought was super sweet, this Minotaur. And then there's a bunch of bits down here, which was just kind of like AI generation, which some of the team did. Brad's really good at AI work and was just kind of doing like a bit of a general survey. So that gives us like some initial stuff to go off. And then we get into character by character design. And we're actually doing mood board by character, by hero before we get going. Okay, I'm going to take you on a bit of a journey here from common heroes right the way through to legendary. We've actually got a decent amount of this faction fleshed out already, whether it's in 2D concept or 3D. Some of the 3D heroes are already being animated as well. So this video is going to be kind of like awesome video in terms of understanding what we're doing with this faction. So let's start with a common then. So the satyr, I did talk about this hero in my video where I talked about creatures specifically. You should check that one out at the end if you haven't already. It's a banger. But yeah, the satyr is going to be a common. He's got this kind of like cool profile view that's going to be this kind of like strong quads, almost as strong as my own, very muscular upper body, and with this kind of like the goat head, almost like demonic goat head look. Very, very cool for a common hero. And I said in my video, like it's also, we're able to use this same base to create other creatures as well, which is super sweet. Okay, we've got ourselves here a Spartan. So I've shown Leonidas in a separate video. This is the uncommon Spartan who will gain some benefits if he's with Leonidas in game. We're already working out kits, hero kits, that type of thing. But this guy is fully 3D rendered. His full build is done, including his spear here, which is kind of like good to go. And obviously his shield. So the Spartan is ready for battle. He's going to be an uncommon hero. We then move on. Now this is one that's kind of close to my heart. So I did do a video showcasing Hippolyta being completely designed from scratch. And that was one of the most popular videos on this channel, actually. So Esther was doing the Hippolyta design. We ended up with this super cool 2D concept with a lot of detail, honestly. This is a rare hero in the game. So you kind of think scale up detail and stuff as you go from common up to legendary. Rare hero here, Hippolyta, kind of showing a lot of the different design. Well, we've now got Hippolyta fully 3D rendered. So I can show you the work that's been done here. Such a great interpretation of that design, honestly. Really, really good job from Gabrielle. It's not completely finished. It's like 95% there. I mean, just look at that. So good. Yeah, really, really good interpretation of the design. We still need to get the shield and the weapon completed, but really, really good work here from Gabrielle. It's about 3 weeks worth of 3D work to get that done. So Hippolyta looking cool. So let's keep it moving then. We've got Odysseus here from the Olympus faction. another rare hero. I actually read a lot of David Gemmell books, and actually he's a massive character in one of those books, or a series of those books, and really like the way he's been brought to life here. So he's kind of got his mace ready to bash people up. He's got the shield, which is actually based from the base shield that we've created for Leonidas, but with his own texture and his own design, which fits his setup better. Obviously, we'll have Penelope in the game as well, his lovely lady, and yeah, super sweet design here for Odysseus. Okay, then, I'm going to bring you back to one of my fave epics so far, Leonidas. I think they've done a great job here of the visual. This is some Walter work. Really, really cool, sleek design. I love the shield. I love the rippling abs, but a bit of an update on him. So he's one of our heroes now that is into like full animation mode. So we're able to get his abilities animated here. Let me show you this one. So fly it for a couple of times. The legendary kick into an ability, super cool. Obviously, we're trying to make sure that the animations fit the type of hero that we're doing here. So Leonidas in game now is starting to get the right sort of treatment to bring him up to the next level. And honestly, that's where a lot of these heroes are going. You know, we're pushing them into engine build. I can't show you too much because there's a bunch of stuff in there that I can't show you at the moment, but there is a bunch of stuff that is starting to happen now with our engine. Okay, let's move on to Icarus. So Icarus is now fully developed in 3D. This is literally the first time I'm seeing this. This is from our in-game engine. So let's see what's going down here. Obviously not animated or anything yet. It's just standing there in his T-pose. But just take a second. Like the quality of the feathers, it's hard to see actually because this is recorded from Unity. I'll show you another shot in a minute. It's really strong. It's really, really good. So yeah, Icarus just looking super sweet. Really, really cool. And obviously very different from a lot of the other heroes I'm showing you so far. We want to make sure we keep that diversity in terms of the different heroes that are in game. That's one. I can show you this one as well, which kind of shows those. It's not taken from someone else's recording. Look at the visual on the wings. Damn. The work is good. The work is really, really good. Such a good job here. So yeah, that's Gabrielle as well. Really, really good work. Who's next? Who's next on the list? The Olympus faction is stacked with names that we all know. We have got ourselves Achilles, another epic hero in the mix. We've got his weapon being developed. His shield is so damn good. Look at that. I love the shield. It's really great work. Really, really great work. So he's still in kind of like final development mode. He's going to be put into game real soon. But Achilles is with us. Let's start to move on to... Oh, actually, I should have showed you this first. This was his kind of like original 2D design that we took. Obviously, sword and shield, exactly as you'd expect him to be. So these are the other things that are needed to be designed. Obviously, we've then flavored up some of these assets over time from the original kind of like 2D concepting. And you can see here how we kind of like we're talking about what do we want the armor to look like when it's finished. Actually, do we get a back shot here? I've got it before it's been kind of like textured, so you can kind of see what some of his armor look like from the back. And again, this sort of attention to detail, I think, is what's going to set us apart from others in this genre. But yeah, Achilles is in the mix. Let's move up then to a beautiful female. So this is the 2D concept for the legendary now. We're on to legendaries. Aphrodite. Lots of tells to, you know, her mythology and lore. She's one. We don't have that many females designed yet because we were kind of doing a wave of male characters. We've now got more females that are coming through in terms of 2D and therefore 3D design. So Aphrodite is now fully 3D rendered. She doesn't have a weapon yet, but she will be in game super soon. So you can start to see, like we've already got, I'm showing you here, I don't know, over 10 characters just for this faction. We're starting to get a pretty decent fleshed out game in terms of playable heroes that we're able to use in our engine and start to test stuff. So we're hoping for mid-August to have what they call a vertical slice of the game where we can really test out some kind of mechanics. But super sweet to get, you know, this many designs to this sort of state. And yeah, Aphrodite really looking cool. Aphrodite was done by Andre. All right then. let's move on to Hercules. So Hercules design, yes, another legendary hero. Ah, man, it's so damn good. You know, obviously the labors of Hercules is a really cool kind of like point for us in terms of understanding what we might want to put as tells to this hero. We've got the Olympus insignia on his buckle there. We've got the lion's head and mane across his back. We've got the twisting heads of the Hydra in his weapon. And Hercules is starting to look badass. If we look at the kind of like now 3D visual representation, it's nearly finished. And damn, his weapon is big. He is going to be an absolute bruiser in the game. And yeah, the detailing is really, really good. Yeah, super sweet. Really, really good job here. Great work from, I think this was Valerie. Valerie was doing this one, yeah. So yeah, really, really cool work. Okay, we're going to carry on with the legendaries. We've got Zeus. Zeus is already in game. He's not animated yet. This was kind of like the original concepting, some of the original thought behind the design. And we had a whole bunch of different weapons that we kind of looked at as, you know, as cool visual weapons for Zeus as well. We've now got Zeus in game. This is what he looks like. So obviously he's going to be super powerful in terms of his like damage output and that type of stuff. And I can't wait, honestly, for this one to get some of the animations and VFX of his abilities done, because it's going to pack a punch. He's not animated yet. Some of the other heroes are, but he will be animated real soon. So perhaps I'll do an animation and VFX video separately when we start to get a bit more of that coming through. Okay, let's keep it moving then. So the final one I want to show you today, this one's close to my heart. This is going to be Hades. And honestly, we've been kind of back and forth on this one quite a bit because we want to make sure that we get our interpretation of Hades to be just right. We see a whole bunch of different interpretations on him, from just really a guy who's, yeah, I mean, just a dude. Like, it doesn't have to be super scary or, you know, like kind of like necromancy feel. It doesn't need that at all, but it depends which direction you want to go, right? So we went through a whole bunch of mood boarding on Hades. You know, which direction did we want to go? And then we ended up with a number of iterations of his kind of like 2D. Dane did this sweet line drawing of, you know, what we thought he could look like in this kind of like real cool, just profile view. Really cool shoulder pauldrons. You got the kind of like tail towards Cerberus, the key. Yeah, like almost like, I guess, mystical or magical kind of like pots hanging off him. Really detailed back view as well. So that's a lot of work for like 3D. So it's a lot to try and factor in. We then kind of took it to this next level of texturing some of the different imagery. We've got his weapon sitting here as well. And from a 2D point of view, honestly, damn, it's one of the best 2D interpretations I think we've had. So let's move on. Let's show you some 3D stuff. Interestingly as well, this is just like a nerdy thing, but some of the ways to get polygon counts down so that this runs smoothly on devices is you basically just mirror elements of a character from side to side. Obviously, when you animate them and pose them, you won't know that, but it means that you don't have to have such a high polygon count, which is important for mobile games. Okay, then let's give you some visuals. So this is him. He's not finished yet, but he's being mocked out in 3D. Obviously, all of the texturing still needs to be done in terms of colors and stuff, but you can see, I mean, it's such a good representation of that design. The side profile looks super sweet, like really, really cool. And I can't wait until, again, this guy is fully textured and, you know, this design is finished off with all of his kind of like VFX going off as well. But yeah, I'm really, really loving this. Like Hades coming through, doing my namesake proud in terms of visual design. So look, I could honestly show you about another 6 or 7 heroes from this faction. I don't want to let everything go. I don't want you to see everything about the game before it launches. So that is going to be it for the Olympians. The Olympus faction is one of our most kind of like fleshed out factions so far in terms of number of heroes. But let me know what you think of the different designs that we've got going on. That's faction number 2. I've shown you the Aru. That's the Olympus faction. Which faction would you love to see next? Make sure you sub to the channel. Make sure you share this video and like the video as well. And I will see you in the next one.